Happy Sunday night and welcome to the Park Adventurers Club. If you have followed us on our previous journey, that has come to an end, but we are on a new adventure on a new channel, so please make sure to subscribe to this channel. It's also called the Park Adventurers Club. Also, join us in the chat tonight if you're watching us live. Thank you guys for being with us, and if you are so moved, you now can super chat, so we're very excited about that. Tonight, we have put together a little group of our club members here just for you, just to talk about some great stuff that's been happening. We'll start with Shannon.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Being that it is Memorial Day weekend, a salute to all nations, but mostly America. And thank you so much to all of our servicemen and women.
And Mr. Patrick Hackett.
I thought this opening used to have Constantine in it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. He had to walk away, but we're going to be fine.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, get ready, buddy. It's gonna happen tonight. We are having our club meeting. So this is our, I believe, 6th meeting. We're gonna call it to order. We got the gavel. We're ready to go. Yeah,
it's an actual gavel now. Oh, I missed
my friend. Look
episodes.
at this is. Yeah, we're not fooling around anymore.
Okay.
We're a legitimate club now. So, and again, a legitimate club has rules and also an agenda. So our agenda for tonight is as follows. We're going to have the reading of the minutes. That's last week's news that we want to talk about, including Epic being open, the new Villains show. We saw a little preview of that. How to Train Your Dragon Live is now featured at the Lost Continent over at Islands. We have Get Animated is all over the studios for Cool Kids Summer, and then Lilo and Stitch offerings at the park. But our big news, our big, huge topic for the night is, do we need more Muppets in Disney parks? I have feelings. We all have feelings. So we'll talk about that. And it's also because of the impending closing of a national landmark, which is Muppet Vision. So we'll talk about all of that. But let's begin with Epic Universe is open. I know that neither of y'all have been to Epic Universe yet at this point, I don't believe, right? And I'm not like trying to call you out in the fact that, yes, I have been. You're welcome.
We're aware. We're real aware.
Did you care? I don't think you care. But this week was actually the official opening of Epic Universe. So on Wednesday the 22nd or Thursday the 22nd, it opened officially to everyone. And the news about it was that it was empty, that there was not much going on there. And this was the parking lot that BioReconstruct took a picture of on opening day. And honestly, I believe this was probably by design, that they were like, hey, you know what? A lot of stuff can go wrong on opening day. Even if we've been previewing for 2 months, I guess, a lot of stuff can go wrong on opening day. We're going to have press here. We're going to have stars here. We don't want to actually, come up with an L for the day. So the idea is that they had shorted the amount of tickets they were going to have for the day. But that also meant like some people couldn't get in. Patrick, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think they did a good thing here, or did they misstep?
That's a really tough question. I think they did what was best for business. And like you were saying, lots and lots can go wrong. I love the way that they opened this, though, with that 2 months of soft opening. You know, when you were there giving away free food, they're trying to work all the bugs out. And they're doing it out in the open. I feel like Disney will grand open something without really working the bugs out. I was one of the few people who got to test Storytales. Story time with Belle. And it was really a wonderful experience. And I think they don't do enough of this. I think they rush it kind of quick. I don't know. I feel like if you had tickets, they don't date their tickets. You still have 2 other parks. I refuse to acknowledge Volcano Bay as a theme park. It is not. It is a water park. We're not playing that Universal. You have 3 parks. Top of the 4.
I love that you had in your back pocket to flex that you opened or sneak previewed Enchanted Tales with Belle, of all things.
Yeah. Enchanted Tales with Belle. I couldn't get it out right. Yeah. My buddy was a cast member, and he said, just go stand by that door. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I was like grabbed and escorted back. I was like, oh, okay. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
Okay. First of all, I want to just stop dead and say we've got our first super chat for the night, and it's Fire Chief 66 says, did someone say we can super chat?
Yay!
Yes. Yay, Fire Chief. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. We worked long and hard to get to there. You gotta put in the hours. What is? Does anybody know the Dwayne Johnson rap? You put in the hours. You put in the. No, you've got to know it.
All I know about Dwayne Johnson's rap is "It Doesn't Matter," which was on WWF The Music Volume 6, I think. He also has a song with like Wyclef Jean. All right, I know quite a bit about Dwayne Johnson's rapping.
You do. All of a sudden, you're
really
like,
good, yeah.
You're I don't know much. Yeah, so thank you for that. And then we've got a second super chat from Jungle Cruiser. It says, my first super chat won't have much to say about this topic. At DLR, we had Muppets. At DCA, yeah, that was short-lived, wasn't it? I never saw it, hardly go there. Only can say my sympathy does Shannon get to dance in the pack. Now, so here's the thing. Yeah, you know what? We weren't going to do the sounder. Yeah. I feel like we got to do the sounder. Can we? Okay.
I would, and I think we let it. No, there it is.
All right. Well, here's the deal, though. That's just for you, Jungle Cruiser. We're gonna find a better sounder. We're gonna find a better sounder. And Patrick.
Oh my God! There's more money.
Care Bear said can't afford more currently. Have to attend a Muppet funeral soon. Wow, that's graphic. Oh. That is graphic. Thank you so much, Care Bear. We appreciate you. And Jungle Cruiser and Fire Chief, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for starting us off strong. We appreciate it. All right, so Shannon, let's talk about Epic. Again, it opened up. Ministry of Magic had some severe issues, but all of us, and I say me, were like, get rid of the virtual queue. We're willing to stand in line. And then the line was 5 hours, and then it also broke opening day. So I guess my theory of like, hey, let's work out the kinks didn't necessarily apply to Ministry. Did you watch any of this unfolding?
I watched a lot of coverage from Epic's weekend. Since they started having previews, and I could be wrong, but it seemed like they tried to make up the fact that people waited a long time and it was down, like giving them an express pass to come back. So it between the fact that they undersold tickets and that they tried to recover well from that situation, I think they did it right. And my initial reaction was it was a smart move to undersell the tickets while it gets up and running. Will it backfire, though, in months or a year from now when you have full capacity? And it is pretty light on attractions. I believe there's only 11 in total, which is lower than I believe any Disney park. So what's that experience going to be like? I'm not sure.
I didn't even consider that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more to do than the attractions when you're there. But honestly, I think that it's a good move if that was what they did. From the beginning, they seemed like most of the things they did to open this park up, they did well. You know, Patrick, you mentioned that like when we first went, they didn't charge for food, and I think that they were putting pressure on the system by like how much can we handle. And again, they spared no expense in most of this, except when it came to that live stream. Did you guys watch the live stream? The people
I had no idea until you showed it to me. I'm like, what is this even? Is this a British talk show? And it was Universal's own stream.
Yeah. Yeah, they had Mario Lopez like literally in the park the day before, and they had the Today Show was going to be there the next day. But they basically, it looks like they took the social media team and they put them in charge to run this 4-hour live stream. I thought it was just a live stream. It was the night before. I thought it was just going to be a ribbon cutting or something. So I tune in. And they're like, stick with us for the next 3 hours, and I'm like, what? And it was just like, hey, we're going to go to Showbit. And he said it's Showbiz, but with a T. We're going to go to Showbit on the blue carpet, and they go out to the front, and he doesn't have somebody, and they're looking around, and it's like, or he's talking to somebody, and he's welcoming people who own the park, basically, that have run the park. He's like, thank you for coming. And it's like, no. You don't thank me for coming to my park. But it was a little bit weird until the weirdest thing happened where they show off the merch and the one woman says, look at this bag, isn't it beautiful? And the guy has to step in and go, it's a popcorn bucket. That's not a bag. And then every theme park person who was watching was probably like, we've lost all confidence in this. It just wasn't great, but you've got all this talent that you could have put in there for this if you really wanted to do it right. I don't know.
But
And
then,
Shannon, did you?
like, it makes you wonder though. I was watching, the YouTubers that I normally watch every day. Like, I wasn't watching the NBC Universal people. So to me, I mean, who was watching that? Probably people who don't know that's a popcorn bucket. So maybe that wasn't as impactful on them.
Maybe, yeah. They had portal opening ceremonies for all four, which I thought were amazing, and I wish they would do that every morning, like kind of like the welcome show they do at Magic Kingdom. They're not going to, but it was amazing the entire like characters of Burke coming out through the smoke and then saying, welcome, we have dragons, and come see Burke, and it was so good. It just gave me chills. The whole thing was great. And then they sold out of a bunch of these things. They had these commemorative coins, and I was like, that's crazy. They were like very expensive, but they sold out the day before because they sold them to all the press and influencers and everybody else. So on opening day, you couldn't buy the opening day merch no matter how early you got there because it was already sold out. That felt a little weird. And then I read somewhere that a guy tried to get tickets ahead of time to the grand opening and couldn't. And then he was giving a stream about how they were sold out almost immediately. And then someone else said, "Oh, I actually just went up out of curiosity to the ticket booth day of, and they sold me a ticket, and I went in."
It doesn't surprise me. It never hurts to ask. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So anyway, park is open. I'm very excited to go back and give it another look in a couple weeks. And we'll see how the lines do. Opening day, everything was basically walk on, like 5 to 15 minutes. It feels like walk on, except for Ministry. So I hope that it sticks that way. Today, Ministry, when I looked at it, was an hour 20 or 120 minutes, 2 hours. But as long as it stays around that time, I'd still be willing to stand in line for it. Okay, so the next thing up is the Villains show. Because on the 27th, which is this week, Cool Kids Summer starts, and also the Villain show and the Mermaid show. So we talked about the Mermaid show a little bit last week. And so some people had a preview of the Villain show, and it was not great. There was a little snippet, I don't know if you saw on social, where they showed Cruella and Captain Hook and Maleficent, and it was like, if you've seen the epic shows, you're comparing them. You're already comparing them, and it was a little bit rough. I don't know, Patrick, is your daughter into Villains? Are you guys going to go watch this show? Are you excited for this show, or do you wish it was Muppet Vision? Or are you frozen? He's frozen. So let's go to Shannon. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom loves the Villains. She has giant pictures of, she calls her ladies, the girls, in her bedrooms of Ursula and Maleficent, and she doesn't have the Queen. Who's the other one? I can't think. Cruella. And so this is something that I think is up her alley. It's up my alley. I'm envisioning it to be kind of like the Hocus Pocus spectacular during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Like, I hope it's catchy. I hope the music is really good, but I'm kind of going into it with low expectations.
Yeah.
Surprise and delight me.
Fair. You know what? Did you ever see House of Mouse? No, nobody saw it. Anyway, House of Mouse was a Mickey Mouse cartoon, and they did a thing where it was the House of Villains. And the villains were all taking over the House of Mouse, and they sang the song. And they were like, "It's our house now." May have just been me, sorry, but the House of Villains, I wish they would almost wish they would play that song, but it feels like that vibe. Like, I'm not scared, maybe I'm not supposed to be, but it looks a little bit silly. So we'll just assume that Patrick would have agreed with us on that, and we'll move on. We do have another super chat. Jay Ware is in the chat and says, "Congratulations, Rob, finally enough hours." Yes, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thanks, Jay Ware, for that. So let's move on to the next moment in our minutes, which is we were going to talk a little bit about the live action How to Train Your Dragon. Have you've seen the original, I hope, Shannon, the original How to Train Your Dragon?
Very long time ago, yes.
Are you looking forward to this live action version or not really?
I remember, although I don't remember the whole story, I remembered that I enjoyed the movie and thought it was cute. So I actually want to go back and watch the original, and I think I would see the live action as a means to get myself excited to eventually go to Epic Universe and better understand that land. So, I mean, that goes to show you the investment kind of pays off for them, right? Isle of Burke, because now I'm going to go spend money to watch that movie, to then go
Yes.
spend money in the land.
Well, I mean, just as long as you keep spending money, that's really all that matters, right?
That's right.
We had I posted some pictures this week on our Instagram page about this takeover they're doing and it makes sense to do it at the Lost Continent. They have a takeover of the How to Train Your Dragon in the Lost Continent, and they have a photo op, and they have shoulder plush, and so here's the little shoulder plush dude, and there's the dragons and the signage and the toothless photo spot, which I totally bought into this because one of our club members, Ron, actually had his picture taken with this. I thought you could sit on it, but you just stand behind it. So you're standing behind his head, so you look like you're doing that. And then there's this big thing that shows the map and how that's going. So that's kind of awesome. And then they've got some props from the movie, so that's kind of cool. But it's really smart to do this takeover at Islands of Adventure, because now you're spreading out the love. You've got Burke, and then you've got if you can't get into Epic, or you've already been, but you want to have a different experience, they're able to separate it. I think they did a good job with this at I was trying to think. I feel like they separated the Little Mermaid, the live action, from the animated. When she was in the park, she was in a different park from where the show was happening for the animated one. So that was kind of cool. Cool Kid Summer. What are we thinking about that? We talked a little bit about this last week, because I feel like it's sort of like dance parties, which I love a dance party to distract other people when I'm around the parks. So it's like if you and your kids want to go, do that, that's great. I love that for you. I love that journey for you, that you get to go watch the dancing, but I'm not about that. But they are redoing this animation courtyard, which, by the way, should have been Monstropolis, just saying. And they're redoing this animation courtyard, and it looks very cool. They're really all in on this, and this is part of their Cool Kid Summer, where they're trying to get families and young kids in here, since they're the teens and tweens and adults are going to try out Epic. But so they've shut down the Disney Junior Live, and they are doing crafts and meet and greets and things like that in here. Shannon, I feel like this is not your cup of tea.
Well, not having any children, it's not exactly my cup of tea, but I feel like this shows that the park is screaming for something that can entertain little kids. Make that an attraction. I think it's a good idea. It sounds cool. It's definitely an air-conditioned break, and for kids to kind of get out of their parents' hair for a minute. But I still am yearning for, even as an adult, an attraction that anyone can go on, including the smallest of kids, and not have to be concerned about motion sickness, like on Runaway Railway, Swirling Saucers, Midway Mania, etc. So,
yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what happened to our lost club member here. He's seems to be trapped in something out here. So we'll continue on without him. You've got enough to say, right, Shannon? I feel like for the both of them. For the both of you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, the sad part is that Patrick wanted a couple minutes to talk about something tonight. I guess he's not going to get that, so it's fine. Oh, there he
back!
is.
Speak of the
there
devil.
He is. Where you been, brother?
Well, my computer completely crashed, and then I didn't know my password, so yeah.
So Stitch crashes your computer. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good times.
Did you have anything you wanted to share about How to Train Your Dragon live action, the Cool Kids Summer, or the Villain Show?
I do not care about the Villain Show. I think it's stupid and I hate it, and they should just put Muppet Vision over there. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know really how we're differentiating between the live action and the animated. I think that's also a problem with Stitch. We have the live action version of Stitch in a lot of pictures, but you still meet the animated version, and there are slight differences. But yeah, that's about it. And sometimes Universal, being one of the most powerful and richest media conglomerates of the world, go with someone who isn't an influencer, because you never know how many takes those videos are going for. So yeah, maybe Showbiz with a T should not be the one when you have Mario Lopez in the parks.
You are not the one, Showbit. Okay, I feel bad. I feel bad roasting them at all. But I just even my wife is sitting there going, really? Like I mean, you've got the Today's Show the cast probably in the Grand Helio or the Helios Grand. You probably could have just gone and grabbed somebody from there. Like, they're nearby. Why couldn't we have done something with that? I don't know, but. Anyway, so in saying that Stitch, takes over your computer, Stitch is also taking over, and they did this virtual thing where they didn't actually have the. Him TP the castle like he did last time, but the reference to it's cute. I like that. But there's a lot of Stitch activations in the park. There's the magic shots. There's signage. They've added him to the room. Alexa's. He's in this picture here. Again, a lot of these magic shots. I feel like they could have gone
that magic shot from Disneyland Paris. Like that poor cast member. Nope, down one more. Not eating a Kakamora. Down. You're going up, Rob.
Oh,
down.
Sorry. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one? This one.
There you go.
That one.
Yeah. That is a poor cast member who's been put in a difficult situation.
Oh.
Did either of you go see the movie this weekend?
I did.
No, not yet.
Okay, all right. So let's go to Patrick and try not to do any spoilers because Shannon hasn't seen it. Are you excited about this one?
I loved it.
Are you happy?
I thought it was great. I'm very happy. I think people who are finding issues with the plot are unwilling to see character development in anything other than the way they want to see it. And that is as spoiler-free as I can get. I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And I did not want this to happen. But from the trailers, it started looking good, and it was really enjoyable. Also, everyone in the audience had stuffed Stitches. I saw it with my daughter, Cece, who is watching for the first time today. Hi, Cece. And if I knew we could have brought cuddly Stitches, I would have brought a cuddly Stitch. I didn't know that was like a prerequisite for the film. I love all the stuff that they're doing. I think sometimes it's a little bit of a cop-out when it's Hawaii, and you're just like, yeah, pineapple coconut. But I like all the activations.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely great that they're doing them in the parks. I feel like they did more activations in the park for other movies other than this one. So it seems like maybe they weren't sure how it was going to do, but at the box office, it is really kind of cleaning up. It's made more in the first couple of days than Snow White did its entire run. But that's not necessarily.
It was also supposed to be, once again, showing how out of touch they are. It was supposed to be a Disney Plus direct release.
Yeah, exactly. But let's also talk about the fact that there's a popcorn bucket because there should always be a popcorn bucket.
It says it's a sipper, but it definitely looks like a popcorn bucket.
Well, you're right. It is a sipper. I'm sorry. It's plastic. That's all that really matters to me. I'm not gonna put popcorn or liquids in it, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you're right. Good call. It is a sipper.
It doesn't look like one. It looks like a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and sometimes they're the ones that actually are supposed to hold popcorn should be sippers, but because they don't have enough space. But yeah, it's exciting that they're doing all this in the parks for Stitch anyway, and maybe they'll do more. But I would love to see at some point animated or live action Stitch have an attraction, like a good one. Like we have the Tiki Room one in Japan. There's but like do something cool here, I think. And there was, Stitch. A lot of people probably like the Stitch's Great Escape in Magic Kingdom. It seems like if you weren't going to replace it, you should have just left it.
Yeah. No.
What?
I felt like there was times that I felt like it was referencing the attraction, and then I remembered that the attraction is referencing the film. It was very confusing for me for a split second. But I mean, yeah, it's just so much wasted space, just doing nothing with it.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about. I think that does it for new for the minutes, which is the old business, which was the things that happened in the past week, and we're going to talk about new business. But before we do, the gentleman from the north has asked for the floor. Yes. How much time do you need? I
need about 3 hours.
You got a minute and a half.
So last week, the Eurovision Song Contest, ESC, was going on in Europe. If you're not aware of what Eurovision is, it is a song contest of all the European nations. It was started after World War II to try and bring unity together, and it is one of the greatest spectacles of all time. I became obsessed with it when Netta from Israel won. My brother-in-law comes home around this time every year, and so he lives in Israel and really just enjoyed that song. The Will Ferrell movie came out, and I've been watching it loyally ever since. There is no reason that we should not be utilizing Eurovision in the parks, in the pavilions, at EPCOT when it's going on. I think that it would be a fantastic cross-cultural experience. Watch parties. I mean, there's so much they could do. Could you imagine sitting in, well, Canada's the only one, they don't compete, but like in the Canada Pavilion in Circle Vision, watching this glorious song contest? They have to do more things that actually bring life to World Showcase Pavilion. And watching Eurovision last week, that was the only thing I could think of. There's a song for Switzerland called Made in Switzerland. Look it up. It is an EPCOT song. Go look it up. It is fantastic.
And time. Great. All right. Well, again, you know what? I mean, they've signed up with F1, so
yeah,
anything can happen. Yeah, I know that Shannon was like, yes, finally. All right,
two buddies who are diehard Disney and diehard F1 fans. So like it hit them right in the Q zone.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. All right, so we're gonna move on to new business, and our new business this week is, of course, the title of our show this week, which is we're going to talk about the Muppets, past, present, and future in the Disney parks, and we're going to ask this group, do we need more Muppets in Disney parks? So think about that answer while we're talking about this. The first thing that I wanted to talk about when we go through is the stuff that never happened, because that's the part that drives me bananas. No, so obviously, Jim Henson made kind of struck a deal when it was back in the Eisner days. They got together and they worked together on some plans, and there was an idea to take over Disneyland as Muppet Land, and that didn't happen. And so there were all of these ideas they had out there, and one of them was to make the Great Muppet Movie Ride. And I am so angry that never happened. Like, I miss the Great Movie Ride, but like the idea that there would have been a Great Muppet Movie Ride would have been awesome. So, I mean, when I look back at other plans and things like Roger Rabbit's Toontown and other things that never came to be, this is the one, honestly, more than anything, that gets under my skin. Patrick, thoughts on this one? It was this and a Gonzo's restaurant.
I think that Jim Henson recently, some artwork came out that they were intending to do their own world, their own Muppet world. And Henson started working on it. It's like, I can't do it better than Disney. So, they joined forces. I think the Great Muppet Movie Ride is so good because it's what the Muppets do best. But seriously, how have we never had a Swedish Chef restaurant, like, even pitched? I feel like that should have been way further along the way. I don't want a Gonzo restaurant, especially if it serves chicken. Like, that's such a conflict of interest.
Yeah, so I love this drawing, by the way, but this was like there were rats up above with sandwiches, and I mean, this is basically what ended up being, I think, Mama Melrose, right?
It definitely gives off Mama Melrose vibes, yeah.
Yeah. So, Shannon, do you have any thoughts on the Muppets that never were, or have you seen all that artwork before?
No, I haven't, but I've seen when Jim Henson's studio was like for sale recently. I remember how beautiful that studio looked. I had never seen it before, and it makes me sad that some things have not come to fruition in the parks.
Yeah. Let me pause again for another super chat. Jungle Cruiser said, Rob, I tried to get the sipper yesterday, but it sold out in 30 minutes before I got there. My 2-year streak of getting all buckets and sippers is done. Oh no.
Whoa.
No. Hopefully it'll come back though, or maybe it'll come to Disney World. I don't know, but Jungle Cruiser, thank you for the super chat, and I feel for you, man. Again, I've had that happen before. The first Stormtrooper head like the helmet. I was wanting that, and I went up to Katsaka's and I asked for it, and the woman was like, "Oh, they were all confiscated by the First Order." I'm like, "Just tell me if they're coming back. Like, I don't need to. we don't need to be in."
Well, stay in world and be like, have the rebels secured anymore? The resistance.
I should have had you with me. You should have been with me. I don't know why I ever go anywhere without you, Patrick. That's definitely my mistake. But anyway, the Great Muppet Movie Ride would have been great, and especially because I feel like Muppets lend themselves to animatronics so well that it would have been really cool to have them there in the first place. But there were a lot of things that happened that ended up happening with the Muppets in the parks. The one of them was you used to exit out of Muppet Vision and turn to the right. You could actually turn to the right and go around when the Streets of America were still there. And they had a show called Here Come the Muppets, which then turned into Days of Swine and Roses. Do you remember this at all, Shannon? Because I feel like no.
I don't.
Patrick, do you remember this at all?
Smidge, and only from being on our previous network and like doing all the history stuff. But yeah, I remember videos and clips of it. It's really awesome.
Well, and the thing that was always sort of a little bit disturbing to me about Here Come the Muppets is that it was like life-size people. Like life-size.
That Bean Bunny is entirely too big.
I mean, they're all a little bit out of proportion because they're people. They have to be. But yeah, it's. I used to think it was a little creepy, honestly. To be honest, if I'm being honest, I thought it was a little creepy that they were all like people size, and we never really see the people size Muppets anymore, right? Like they never come out to play. So there's Brian Henson in that picture. Way. Yeah. So that was one of the past attractions that they had in the park. It was a stage show for that, and then they also had the Studio One store, which was the Muppet store where you could go buy Muppet stuff. And they changed it out, and it was all like there was barely any Muppet stuff before COVID, and then after COVID, it was never opened, and they've opened it for like May the 4th year or anniversary of the park year, or to do that robot arm for Jollywood, but it has never opened as a store, and of course has been labeled for demolishment. So that's kind of a thing.
Great hidden Mickeys in there. Great hidden Mickeys in there.
Yeah, like the one in the paint on the outside. That was always kind of cool. And it looked like the inside of the Muppet, like the Muppet Show when you were in there too. So that was kind of a cool thing when you're in there. The Stars and Cars motorcade. Do you guys remember that parade?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah? You do. Shannon, tell me, because I was like, wait a minute, if you don't remember Here Come the Muppets, but you do remember the Stars and Cars?
Yeah, but like I remember vaguely seeing it, that and the Mulan parade in Hollywood Studios, but I have to be honest, I don't remember the Muppets being part of that parade. Oh, there they are. Creepy. Yeah. Creepy.
Yeah,
why
so
does
I mean,
Piggy's hand look upside down?
Why does what? Her hand look upside down?
Looks upside down. Yeah.
Maybe she was blowing kisses. I don't know. The cool part about this car though was that when you saw it from far away, which I didn't show the far away shot, it looked like the balloon from on top of the Muppet Vision. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so it was the Stars and Cars motorcade, and they were in it, all packed up and I guess ready to go somewhere. I don't know.
Rocking that ascot. Looking that. Yeah. Oh man, I've seen so many Stars and Motor Cars parades. Never in person, but through the magic of the internet and video, and they're so great. Like the Soap Stars one too. The Soap Stars one cracks me up every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's another one that we all got to know and love, which was the Great Moments in History.
Yeah.
That one was at in Liberty Square, which I think desperately needed to have something else. They did these windows at the top that otherwise the building had no purpose really, and they would fly out these banners, and they had the Muppets in the windows, and they had a town crier at the bottom, and they had like a couple different versions of the show. But again, Shannon, this one again I think was a victim of COVID / Chapek era, right?
Yeah, it was so I did see this. It was so short-lived, but it was so magical. It's one of those things where people don't expect it to happen. And they're walking through and they stop and you I'm gonna say it again, like it was a surprise and delight that this happens in Liberty Square. So that is a huge bummer because I agree with you. Liberty Square needs something else.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Rob,
Yeah.
I was hanging around on the Tick and the Talks, and I follow this person named Sweaty Oracle, who is a Broadway insider. I'm a multifaceted person. I love musicals, and they came with a Disney insider saying that there is rumors swirling that show or something similar to it will be replacing the Hall of Presidents. So this is according to @Sweaty Oracle on TikTok. Saying that a Muppet show would be coming to replace the Hall of Presidents. Yeah, no, it should be done.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's tough for me to say no because like I can't remember the last time I went to the Hall of Presidents, but it feels like that was what Walt's original vision was for Abe. Is that the Hall of Presidents was part of his plan to put into Disneyland to have a secondary street back there behind Main Street, and so it kind of feels like that. But also, I don't know how many people go into that show anymore anyway. So I'd be down for it.
Having to have security posted, things are not going to change anytime soon, and it's just going to be a divisive place, and it shouldn't be. Muppets bring people together, and let's keep moving Muppet forward.
Yes. So another thing that they had, and Patrick, you and I did a review of this movie, the Constantine Muppets Most Wanted. They actually did a scavenger hunt for a presentation.
Why does that look like so much murder?
I know, right? But it looks like the Most Wanted, but it was for it was a scavenger hunt, very similar to the, finding Remy or Spike the Bee or any of those things around World Showcase. They had this around the same time as the Muppets Most Wanted movie. And it was kind of cool. It was a neat little thing. Now, obviously, I don't think it was meant to stay there too long because it was to promote that movie, but, again, another thing that they had that was Muppets that they put into the park. So I love that one. And then, of course, Muppet Mobile Labs. Has anyone ever seen it in person?
No.
Is this kind of like the Mandela effect where they're trying to convince us it happened, but it didn't really happen?
No, it's been out there.
So Muppet Mobile Labs, I know, has been in other countries as well, but it was like kind of the characters brought to life situation that they were trying to do with Wall-E and some of those others. And so you can see here's Beaker and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, and it spent a lot of time at EPCOT, and then it was in California Adventure for a bit, Disneyland Hong Kong, and then it came back to EPCOT, and I don't think it's been seen again since. But none of us have ever seen this in person. If anybody's in the chat has seen this in person, definitely let us know. But that was one I always wanted to see, and I don't think
I mean, I've seen Skyleidoscope, and I haven't seen this though.
Okay, well then I don't know what you're talking about.
The Sky one with the water jetpack.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No. So let's talk about what's there. And the other thing that I was going to say that is from the past is the Muppet Vision, kind of like Jungle Cruise we talked about. Muppet Vision came to Disney's California Adventure in 2001, and then went away like I think it was 9 years later maybe, and it became the Frozen sing-along, and it was a Marvel preview for a little while, and now it's Mickey's PhilharMagic. So that theater on the Hollywood backlot was originally Muppet Vision, and you can still see pieces of that as you look around in the pre-show and then go into the theater. So it was Muppet Vision there. They had it there, and then it shut down. And I wonder, Patrick, do you think that's because of it being a locals park that people are like, I can only see this but so many times? Like when we only go to Disney World like once, twice, 3 times a year, it's like, well, we're going to go to see Muppet Vision again because we haven't seen it in a while. But do you think this is because people were like done with it?
What a Disneyland for locals offers significant rewritability, though. I mean, it's the same attraction every time. There's not like a ton of variables and variations. I guess you get some of the stuff in Galaxy's Edge, but I don't know. I think it would have a nice life there. I don't know why they would get rid of it, and I honestly don't know why we're getting rid of it here. Mike and Sully can go somewhere else.
Yeah. So that's the breadth of the Muppets that have been there for the most part. Everything that we've seen come into the parks. There was the stuff that happened. There was the stuff from the past, and what's about to become the past is the Muppets. What's left of the Muppets courtyard, which is the Muppet Vision, the Muppet, the Studio One store, and that's already closed. The Fountain, and then also Pizza Rizzo. I gotta ask this, Shannon. Are you going to miss these things as much as we are? Like, I feel like I don't know. Like, where are you at with this? Here, let me put it this way: if you had to choose between the Country Bears staying or the Muppets staying, which one would you choose?
Oh, that's not even close. Like, the Muppets deserve to stay. Like, get rid of the Bears, and I love the Bears, but I don't like the new version. Here's what I love about Pizza Rizzo too. Pizza Rizzo, regrettably, I never tried the food, but to just walk around and take in all of the decor and theming was just an attraction in and of itself. And I enjoyed the studio store was very similar, right? There was a lot of little stuff to look at in the store. So that I am really gonna miss that a lot. And Muppet Vision 3D, gosh, that one is just gonna hurt so bad.
Well, I think the very first time that you ever came on the show with me,
Very first,
you actually gave a line from Muppet Vision. Was the very first thing out of your mouth, which was what?
I was completely new to the show. It was my first time doing it, and so I said Debbie was sick, so the union sent me. Obviously, I'd been replacing someone.
Yeah, it was probably Pete. Patrick, this goes away in 2 weeks. Are you? I mean, are you sad? Are you more sad for you or for the fact that this doesn't carry on for your daughter?
No, my daughter hugged me and held my hand as I sobbed my way through the last time when I was there in December. I've never had a problem with a cast member in my entire. That's not true. I've complained one time, but I tried to steal a pair of glasses, and like she saw me, and I was like, "You don't see anything." And she's like, "No, I need you to give those back." And I wanted to be like, "Come on, just come on!" Like I'm literally trying to hold on to one piece. No, because she'll still have the Muppets still right around when it's about to open up. She'll be ready to ride a roller coaster. She loves roller coasters, so we'll see how that goes, and hopefully, I think we're all holding out hope that this villain show is temporary and that Muppet Vision goes over there. But with the way Disney does stuff lately, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think so. It doesn't look like a good show. I'm actually looking at the show makes me worried for the villain's land, especially seeing what Universal is doing with Dark Universe.
Yeah, that's fair. Shannon is Care Bear is fighting for you in the chat. You saw that it was unfair for me to ask you to compare bears to Muppets. So I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. Like country bears can beat it. If it was bears or Muppets, I'm taking Muppets because Muppets have a outside of Disney impact more than country bears do.
Okay. So when I say the present, I mean today. So for today, Muppet Vision and Rizzo is there. But after that, there's only one thing left, and that is the Regal Eagle.
Good food.
But again, I mean, I know, Shane, you were saying like you love the theming of Pizza Rizzo. I feel like it was underwhelming Muppet-wise. Like, it was cute, there were little Easter eggs and things, but I wanted it to be in-your-face Muppets, and it's not. Regal Eagle, same thing. It's not in-your-face Muppets. Like, there is this cute little poster that's a salute to all cook-offs, but mostly barbecue. Like, okay, that's cute. You've actually referenced a show that we love that you got rid of in a restaurant in a different park. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't feel like that one feels very Muppets to me. I mean, again, they have little throws to like Janice is like here with, the vegan situation, I guess. But I don't know.
Would it kill
but
them to
it'll
have
be,
Swedish meatballs, or like at least
you're all about the Swedish chef, aren't you? You're
I
like, wait a
love
minute,
the Swedish chef.
You've got a Muppet that cooks. Why don't you?
Why is everyone else cooking? You have a rat that cooks, and it's not that one.
I would love to just have sound bites in that room of Swedish chef in the kitchen, like having a meltdown. That would be great.
Old school shadow play. It would be great.
That would be cool. So that's really going to be the only thing that is like around the clock that they keep there until obviously the coaster, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's also seasonal. So for Jollywood, they had a Jollywood show. And Patrick, you didn't go to Jollywood last year, right?
I did not. I could not
trying
convince.
To rub that in.
I know. I could not convince my wife that it was worth it. So sad.
Did you go to the Brewing Lab?
I did.
Okay.
Wings are good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got the wings and it's got beaker and honeydew on the wall and Muppety things.
And they did figmenty things in there too. I don't know. I mean, I feel like every time, like we just said, they're cooking things and they don't use the one that cooks.
But they're experimenting. It's a lab, so they have the lab guys in there.
I just want to make things clear. Most food is not actually prepared in a lab. It's a kitchen where chefs go, and sometimes they might be Swedish.
Yes, sir. And then of course they put a tag on. Yeah, they put a tag on World of Color Happiness at the beginning, which everybody seems to love. So again, people love the Muppets. Who knew? I think a lot of people knew. So Shannon, anything on any of those seasonal ones that you've seen or wish there was more of?
If they said that the Jollywood show was a retelling of a Muppet Christmas Carol, I wouldn't even care what the ticket price is of Jollywood Nights. I would book a trip immediately.
Wow. Could
Truly
you
a missed
imagine?
Opportunity. No,
Could you imagine if they did that in like the Beauty and the Beast theater as part of Jollywood?
Yes.
Oh my God. I would pay a hard ticket on top of a hard ticket for that.
Correct.
100%. I would book a trip, hard ticket on top of a hard ticket. Like, yeah, I know we're not going to get Michael Caine, but someone can take his place.
I will say, and I think I've said this before, is that it is undoubtedly, to me, the quintessential telling of A Christmas Carol is the Muppet one, because not only does it stick more closely to the original Charles Dickens, but it's funny and it's great, and the music is awesome, and like sometimes some of them are very sleepy. Patrick, I do not know if you've been subjected to the Barbie Christmas Carol, but it's a thing.
You know she's watching. Why would you even mention that? That was dangerous. I think the quote goes around the internet. I don't know where it originated, but Muppets Christmas Carol works so well because Michael Caine treats it deadly serious, and Muppet Treasure Island works so well because Tim Roth, yeah, right?
No,
wow,
Tim Curry. I got my Tims all mixed up because Tim Curry treats everyone like they're all Muppet equals, and I just watched Muppet Treasure Island, and man, that holds up because it's just the story with Muppets and occasional silliness.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, with all that said, when they made the announcement that the Muppet Vision was being closed, they said we will take care of it. We will memorialize it somehow, somewhere. And it sounds like that from everything we've heard, they're going to do a cast member appreciation after it closes. They're going to bring the cast members in and have like a party for them, and they're going to eat a pizzerizzo, and they're going to see the Muppets for a last time, and so they get to be the last ones there, which is great. I love that. But they're also going to do a POV video, which if you haven't seen the ones for Black Spire and for Rise, they're so well done. I mean, they reinvented the ride through video because they can close the park down, like light it the way they want to. They get the actors to stand where they want, when they want to, and so it's really well done. I'm looking forward to this, but it to me is just another nail in the coffin that says we're not going to put it where the villains were. We're not going to put it at EPCOT. We're not going to put it in the Hall of Presidents. So this show is done. Now, if there's a new show, that's great, but it sounds like this one's just done. But they said, oh, no, it's okay, though, because don't worry, the Muppets are going to be returning in the Rockin' Roller Coaster, which Patrick had the best idea that this should be Powerline, which I 100% agree with.
It's not my idea. This is the second best thing they could have done. If not Powerline, then this is second best.
I've got problems with this, though, because, number one, you're going to fly through, so you're not necessarily going to get to enjoy a lot of Muppets. So they better be heavy on the pre-show. That's all I'm saying. The pre-show maybe, and the queue better be seriously Muppetized. Then the other part of it is like Muppets are supposed to be family friendly, but you've got to be 48 inches to ride this roller coaster. So if it's just an overlay of the existing roller coaster, that's going to be a problem, I think, for families and kids. But Shannon, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, honestly. I love Aerosmith and Rock and Roller Coaster, but I also love Animal. I think he's one of my favorite Muppets. So I don't know. I really can't say right now how it's going to turn out. I don't know where my expectations are lying, but it could have been worse.
Okay, it could have been worse. That's the spirit. It could have been worse. I mean, really? Is that where we're going to?
Have you seen some of the things they've done recently? Come on, Rob.
Yeah. Aaron in chat says that Aerosmith has run its course. So they are definitely changing it. Wait a minute. I love that idea. I asked our PAC members. So again, if we have our representatives here, but our PAC members, the Park Adventurers Club, is our Patreon, and we have Discord, and I love hearing different things that they have to say, and I want to share them with everybody. So I asked the question. I said, do we need more Muppets in the parks? William says there can never be enough Muppets. I missed the Liberty Square show. Neko says, duh. And then, so William said the Great Muppet Movie Ride, this is absolutely no brainer that Disney dropped the ball on. Rosita said, I second that. Captain Quacker says, if we can build a droid and a lightsaber, then how come we can't make a Muppet building experience?
You used to be able to.
But wasn't that like a Toys R Us or a Mail Away or something like that?
No, wasn't that in park? I thought that was in park.
And I said it should be hosted by Kermit. Then we should just do that. But yeah, so do it like it's Muppet Labs. Make it even outrageously priced, but that's the Disney difference. So yeah, that's all there. But honestly,
you're right. It was FAO Schwartz.
Captain Quackers also said why. Lucas, let me jump onto another one where he said, "I love the Muppets. I'm sad that the Country Bears." This is what made me think of this, Shannon. So I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Sad that the Country Bears still exist, but the Muppets will be gone. As far as theater shows, I'd easily pick the Muppets. So there you go.
I don't think that was ever the actual option, though. Like that space can't become Monstropolis where the Country Bears are.
No.
Honestly. I don't know. I guess Monstropolis can go there. It's just.
I would just love to see a Muppets dark ride, maybe. And maybe that's what we're getting with this roller coaster. But also, you're making it on an IP that you only gave one season on Disney Plus. I just feel like they don't get a shot. So
that you celebrated its award nominations after you had already canceled it.
Before we get into final deliberation here, I want to ask each of you. I'll start with Shannon, and I'll go to you, Patrick. What would you like to see next, Shannon, for the Muppets in the theme parks, if anything?
Oh, I'm gonna put all my chips on Muppet Christmas Carol for Jollywood Nights because that is gonna pull people in.
Okay,
I would just love that more. Yeah, even to see I would love something that's going to be long standing. But to me, that is my favorite That is my favorite Muppet movie, Muppet themed anything. So make it happen.
Okay. All right. Patrick, what about you? What would you do?
You've taken my Muppet attraction from one park, and now I want Muppets in all parks. I want all parks to have a Muppet attraction. We'll be replacing the Hall of Presidents with Muppets. We'll be replacing the Tree of Life, not with Zootopia, but with Muppets. Epcot, Spaceship Earth, more like Pigs in Spaceship Earth.
Pigs and Spaceship Earth. Yeah. I don't know. I love the idea of the Great Muppet movie ride existing with the movie ride. Like you do the real one and then you do the goofy one. I loved that was a thought process that they had at some point. That would have been amazing to see. So what we have to do now is you guys have to answer the question is, do the parks need more Muppets? And we'll ask you both to weigh in on that or to cast your vote in a moment. But I want to say thank you to everybody who's been here tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us on Sunday night. And for the people who super chatted, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all the support. If you want to support even further or you want to hang out with us more, you can go to patreon.com/GoPack. And thank you to all of our pack members. We love the pack, the Park Adventurers Club, and a special shout out to Jungle Cruiser, Rosita, William, Monica, Michael, J. Ware, Alicia, Rob B, Vince, Jordan, and Sienna. We appreciate all of you guys, and thank you to everyone who is in the Discord and every day and talking and sharing, and it's a great community. We love hanging out with you guys. Coming up, last week we actually had a show called Castaways. This was Stephanie's new show where she interviews previous cast members on their experiences. She put me on the hot seat this time, so if you want to go back and check that out, parkadventuresclub.com is how you get to any of these. And then our friend Jake and I did Stitch reactions the day after seeing the movie, so that is also up now. You're currently in the Park Adventures Club, and then this Wednesday, Shannon, you're going to get a double dose of Shannon this week, and Shannon is going to be back talking to me about Disney's Blank Check. Have you started watching this yet?
No, I think that's going to be my activity tomorrow.
Oh boy. Oh man, I played this
what a
one
way
clip
to honor the men and women who gave their lives for this country, to celebrate your freedom by watching Blank Check.
Disney's Blank Check, let's say. I played this one bit for my wife, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this was in a kids movie!" So I can't wait for you to hear. Yeah, I can't, and it's early on, so buckle up. It's going to be great. So come watch this disaster with us Wednesday night at 9 p.m. It's going to be fun. And thank you for doing that. And then Shannon's got her own show. She does hotel reviews for the happiest stays. And can you tease yet what the next one's going to be? It's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, this one's hot off the presses. I just went, and no spoilers, but it is going to be a moderate resort. So we're moving out of the deluxe category.
Oh no! Are you able to do that? Will you be okay?
Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you being held against your will?
I'm still here. I'm here. I survived.
So watch her first review, which was on the Yacht Club, and then come back and hear her slumming it with a moderate, I guess. But I mean, I'm a value guy, so what do I know? Yeah, I know.
Get out of here.
I know. I'm sorry. I like what I like. So yeah, again, lots of great content for you guys on the parkadventuresclub.com. Please check it out. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend. We have so much fun. We have so much content. We want to share it with everybody. So thank you guys for doing that. So now is when we vote. And the vote, again, the question on the table, as we mentioned several times already, is, do we need more Muppets in the Disney parks? And I will start with you, Shannon, the Secretary of Spas and Resorts. How vote ye?
Yes, absolutely. We need more Muppets. And I am not going to speak to my love of Muppets. I'm going to give one reason and one reason only. I think the Muppets achieve something that is very difficult to achieve, especially with movie and TV show productions. And that is, it appeals to all age levels. So if you watch some of our shows on A Look on the Plus Side, I did 101 Dalmatians live action. I loved that movie as a kid. when I watched it again as an adult for the show, I was like, I don't like this at all. It's pretty terrible. So I don't know. It doesn't connect. But some of these Muppet shows, obviously a Muppet Christmas Carol, that I'm beating that to death. But even when they did the Muppets Haunted Mansion special, I thought it was hysterical. I thoroughly enjoyed that as an adult. So that in and of itself will just bring in the masses, I think.
Okay, all right, and Patrick Hackett, the director of Munchling Relations.
First and foremost, the Munchling relations are getting a bit testy, so we will need to address that with a treaty. They are very concerned they're going the way of Vinylmation.
Yeah.
We don't hear enough about them, so we do need to keep that there. Yes, we need more Muppets in the park. Shannon said it so eloquently and so well. Thank you. It's something for all ages. It's just, Muppets are timeless. Fraggles are getting rebooted. Netflix just picked up Sesame Street. Disney has one of the most recognizable IPs in the world and does nothing with it. And when they do something, they don't give it enough time to get legs underneath it, and then get shocked that it's award nominated because it was a good show. I would love to see more Muppets in the park. I will maintain hope for Muppet Vision to return to us. Honestly, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, there should be parts of the park. I know it's a living, breathing thing, and I know the parks are never done. But there's some stuff that should be put on a National Historical Registry, and they should be unable to touch. And I feel like that's one of them. It has significant historical value. It is the last thing Jim Henson ever worked on. And to just preserve it with a POV video is not enough. I feel the same way about Carousel of Progress and Moments with Mr. Lincoln. I really think we need to preserve Muppet Vision 3D.
Gotcha. Okay, so I think we're unanimous here. We would like to see more Muppets in the parks. That would be awesome. I still think there's a lot of opportunity, whether it be I love the Christmas Carol idea. I'm looking forward to them doing something good with the Rock and Roller Coaster. I'd love to see, I don't know. I feel like there should be more. Patrick, you and I, when we were doing reviews on like movie reviews and talking about Disney Plus, we were talking about, like, I wish there was another button up there for the Muppets, and I wish they would invest more in Muppet content, because I don't know if we've got anything even on the horizon at this point. So one of our shows,
even the shorts are so good.
Yeah. So one of our shows is called Rank It, and we will be doing an upcoming episode where we will rank all of the Muppet movies and TV shows, and we'll tier them. And so hopefully you guys will join us for that. That's coming soon. We'll let you know. But again, thank you guys for being here. I hope everyone can take a moment this weekend to honor those we lost serving our nation. It is Memorial Day weekend. So, please, think of those and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your extra day off tomorrow. Thank you for spending tonight with us. We always appreciate it. We will see you next Sunday night. Hopefully we'll see you Wednesday night to talk about Blank Check. Because again, it'll be interesting. It could be a train wreck. Who knows?
It is 100% a train wreck.
And then Friday night will probably be our Rank It show. We do content on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, sometimes even Saturdays, but hopefully you guys will subscribe and come back. Follow us on social. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, or rest of your weekend, and a great week, and we will see you next time.
I don't have it.